Hi, first of all, congratulations on starting your venture. It's a big step to have started on your own, and I all know that the next step that you're planning to look at is to raise some capital for your venture. And the first step in your fundraising process would be to look at capital from angel investors, because they are the ones who will provide the small amount of capital that startups usually require. What I'm going to now share with you is a few tips that will help you to increase the success of your angel fundraising process. It's important to estimate accurately how much time it takes to complete the fundraising process. Now, raising an angel investment right from the time you start seriously approaching the fundraising is anything from 4 to 6 months. Very often, what most entrepreneurs do is to underestimate the fundraising process. When they underestimate the time it takes the fundraising process, one, they fall short of cash, and raising capital when they are running out of cash is very, very difficult, and it jeopardizes the survival of the venture itself. So please remember to phase out the entire fundraising process, ensure that you start well in advance, clearly budget a time frame of up to 4 to 6 months to successfully complete the fundraising process. Before you go for fundraising, it's important that you also be a part of an incubator network. Now, incubators are essentially facilities to nurture early stage startups that have been set up by various institutions, universities, research laboratories, and so on. Before you approach the investors, if you are part of the incubator facility, it gives a lot of credibility to the investor. Startups that are part of an incubator are more mature at the time of approaching angel investors, and that gives an angel investors a lot more comfort. Today, there are so many incubators around, and this is extremely helpful for entrepreneurs like you. And please try and see if you could be associated as a part of any incubator network. Getting the pitch correct is also very important. What does the pitch mean? Pitch means how you can quickly tell the investor what are the salient features of your venture, how unique is it, what is the value that it can generate, what is the problem statement that it's trying to address, and how exactly it can benefit the investor. It may not be necessarily in that order, but essentially a pitch is something that should cover the aspects that I have just highlighted. You might have to iterate your pitch by doing a trial run with your colleagues, with your board members, with your advisors before you actually go and meet the investor. Knowing who the investor is also very important. There are different types of angel investors. We may have what is called as business angels, we may have financial angels, we may have serial investors, we may have one-time investors, and so on. Remember, the expectations, the investment patterns of each of these investors are very different. So before you go and meet them, please be aware what does you need. It's also important that your venture is at a particular level of maturity before you go and approach the investors. Angel investors, no doubt, are risk takers, but the level of risk that they take in India may not be comparable to the angel investors' risk-taking abilities that what we see in the US. In India, what we have observed is they would require a certain amount of progress to be made by the startup founders on their own before they can go ahead and get external capital. If you look at the startup stages, we start with concept stage, we start with ideation stage, then we look at beta, then we look at early stage revenues, and then we also have late stage revenues. Ideally, a startup should have reached the beta stage before they go and approach angel investors, because angel investors are more comfortable. Their propensity to invest becomes a lot higher when your venture is at the beta stage. You have something to show to the investor, and that gives them a lot of comfort. There is a tangible touch and look kind of feel that you give to the investor when you are having the beta stage.